Now,
Done, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes. So you have the marking scheme. You tell me when should I scroll the thing. I will do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Now is the paper visible?
Yes, ma'am.
The corrected paper.
Yes, ma'am.
So first question, 2 marks. Second question, 1.5 marks. I have put a star over there because she has not mentioned.
Yes,
Only 1 point only missing.
That's what. So external source of recruitment. What is the source of recruitment? Professional agencies and personal consultancy. Shouldn't she has
One
not
shouldn't
written? I mark a star. I am making it where I've already informed my students. Whenever I am marking a star, don't be happy that I'm complimenting you. I will tell them that there are some mistakes which you need to come back to me. So don't think that I'm complimenting you. I should not forget that you should come and talk to me. I'm marking a star. That's all. So there is no credit to you because of that. That's the instruction given to them. 1 star means I have a doubt to clarify. So I'm just marking it. You come back and ask for the doubt. 2 stars means you don't deserve mark for this question. I have been generous enough to give you mark. Fine, that is how in the board examination, the deviated answer of 50% and other things will happen this way only. So we will give them instruction. You don't deserve this mark, but I had been generous enough to give you that mark that way. So that let them not think that their answer is right. Let them not think that we have given only less mark for a correct answer. Fine, that's right. The fourth question.
2. This 3.
Yes. Fifth question is 3
Three.
mark question.
Yes, ma'am. 6, 4, 3.
Sixth is also a 3 mark
Some
question.
fourth question, 1 minute. Regulation of takeover bids by company. 1 minute.
Yes.
Check with the question.
And that's the
Any other same category? Any one function. It needn't be very specific, ma'am. Regulation
not
function,
be.
either one. Huh?
yes, yes,
All
yes.
right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Fine. Sixth question, seventh question. Yes, teachers.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
This is the eighth
3.
question.
All right.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes. The 10th question. I've told them very clearly every step. This I think day before yesterday also I told you half a mark per step if the
Yes,
question is
ma'am.
open. If the question specifically says state any 5 reliefs available to the deprived aggrieved consumer, then they can write only 5. If it is an open-ended question, every point should be written according to the mark. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
This is also 5 marks only.
Mm.
Maybe the impression is not clear.
Yes, ma'am.
And the 9th question is 5 marks. See, I put a star over here. That means I am not satisfied. You don't deserve this much mark, but I am not able to reduce the mark proportionately. So I have given you this mark. So it's only a grace mark the child should understand. Maybe half a mark, 1 mark less possible.
We gave 4.5. Like
Okay, very good. The 11th question, 5 marks. And the third question, 2 marks. Fine. So let me stop sharing. So how many marks each one of you gave?
38, ma'am.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Let me check how much the child got.
19, 20, 16, 17.
2, 3.5, 5.5, 8.5, 11.5, 14.5, 17.5, 22.5, 22 and a half, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, 32 and a half, 34 and a half I have given.
Oh,
Or I don't know if I have missed any question.
yes,
2,
ma'am. Maybe possible.
2,
No, ma'am. You might have missed, ma'am. You have given
Yes,
maximum
ma'am.
marks for all, right?
2, 7, 12,
Mm.
17, 22, 25, 28, 31, 34, 36, 37 and a half, 39 and a half. அவ்வளவா வருது?
Ma'am, எனக்கு 38 வருது ma'am.
Okay, 2, 3 and a half, 5 and a half, 8 and a half, 11 and a half, 14 and a half, 17 and a half, 22 and a half,
27.
22 and a half, 27 and a half, 32 and a half,
Hmm.
37 and a half, 39 and a half,
Oh,
39 and a half. I'll just check with the mark list that I had sent to the teacher also.
hmm.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir?
38 and a half, ma'am.
Is it 38 and a half, sir? Oh, you have given 38 and a half. Very
Half,
good.
ma'am. Yes.
I gave
Very good.
38, ma'am.
38. Okay,
Eight.
very good. Savitri, ma'am.
39, ma'am.
Arpita, 39 I have given.
Hmm.
39 I've reduced it to this one. So,
48 தரலாம் ma'am. Such a nice thing.
இல்ல, but அந்த striking
Slightly
scribbling
one
இருக்கக்கூடாது ma'am. There should be no
As a
striking
teacher, we
scribbling.
have to consider.
Yes. So, sir, Hari sir, you've given 38.
8 and a half, ma'am.
38 and a half. Lavanya,
half.
Ma'am, 37, ma'am.
37. Samshad,
38.
38. And Savitri ma'am? I think Savitri ma'am gave 39.
9. Yes, ma'am.
39.
39. So very good. Not a big difference.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
think Lavanya has to be little more liberal. That's all, but not a big deal, Lavanya. See,
Lavanya ma'am is very strict teacher, ma'am. So
not only that, sir, for her, this is the first year in
Yes,
teaching.
right.
For you, have you worked earlier, Lavanya, anywhere?
No, ma'am. I
No.
worked at small class teachers, ma'am.
So
Like social
for
science,
her-
I have taken, ma'am. For
yes.
6, 7, 8, but I didn't touch.
See, so for her, board evaluation is something very new.
Yes.
Okay, number 1. Number 2, for me, I know this Arpita Jain is a capable child and she will. So I go with that positive mindset.
Yes, ma'am.
That is the thing. So
That
this
is the
child
thing,
will.
yes, ma'am.
So board exam, what I keep telling them is the striking scribbling should not be there.
No,
In the very
yes, ma'am.
first page, you strike and scribble. It makes the examiner think that your performance may not be good. All of us are not saints, no, sir, to
Yes,
just
yes,
blindly
yes,
go
ma'am.
with the thing. So definitely there will be a variation. So first few pages, you write fully, you write very beautifully, you write even India-Pakistan cricket match inside that, but put it very beautifully. So that the evaluator is attracted by your presentation. After that, you make 1 or 2 mistakes also, not a big deal at all. But make it as presentable as possible. So that's the only thing, Lavanya, so you don't need to worry. Okay, so
Ma'am, is there
Quickly said, ma'am.
possibility of centum, ma'am, in business
yes, of
studies?
course, I've got many years.
But this
Centum
time
in
I'm
business
trying
studies.
3, ma'am.
In the paper, I have given to one more child, Parvati, one child, she has got centum. You couldn't touch
Oh.
the paper at all. Actually, I wanted that child's paper. Problem and I scanned the paper before evaluation and kept this child's paper. So I didn't do that for that child. Otherwise, I would have definitely taken her paper also. It's flawless. I'll do one thing. I will try to ask her to scan the paper and give me. So I shall share it to you all in your personal window.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
But 5 mark alone, ma'am, usually whatever may be the child write very perfectly correctly, but I will not give 5 mark itself, ma'am.
Not necessary, Samshad, you don't need to penalize. That is the reason why I'm telling you all is to train your students to put it in bullet points.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
they start putting it bullet points, no, you can't reduce it.
Mm.
When they write it in a paragraph only, your mind says, maybe the answer is not fully correct, so I need not give marks. If they put it in bullet point, nothing wrong in it.
Oh, okay.
You automatically tend to give marks.
But few children are deserved, ma'am, but I will
Ah.
not give, ma'am.
No, but too much of penalty also, no. The children will lose interest.
They will get 85, 38 and a half.
That's
So for
what.
39, that's all, ma'am.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
In board, I'm expecting centum this year,
They
ma'am.
will, they will, they
In
will,
business.
they will. So I'm just sharing the other paper. But
Yes, ma'am.
this child, I told this child to scan the paper and send. So some areas, the marks are seen.
Oh,
So please excuse.
yes, no, ma'am.
And I told her to apply whitener and then scan it and send it, but she has sent it directly. So your job may become very easy. You can evaluate my evaluation.
Mark.
So how much have you given?
12, ma'am.
Sir,
Well,
Samma sir.
பாருங்க.
13 and a half.
Savitri ma'am has given 13.
11, ma'am.
11.
11, ma'am.
I have originally given 12. Then
Yes,
somehow,
13 and a
somewhere I
half.
have
Yes,
added
ma'am.
and given. See, I made this 2 mark question as a 3 mark question. Why? Because 13 is the passing minimum.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't want to stop the child at 12.
Yes, ma'am. So
Yes.
that
So
only
this 2 mark, 3 mark, this question I had, 9th question I had awarded 2 marks. Now I have made it as 3 marks. Can I stop sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So Lavanya, how much have you given?
Ma'am, 13, ma'am.
13. Sir,
Yes,
you also 13.
For
Samshad,
me,
13
12,
and a
ma'am,
half,
12.
ma'am.
12. So Hari said
Bring
12.
pass I made.
Okay, you fine. Same like me.
Yes,
And Savitri ma'am, very prudent, only 11 marks.
11.
Savitri ma'am, don't stop the students.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
by walk, by walk itself, I am giving mark.
So that only you should
Nobody
give
will
time
learn
to
like this, ma'am.
இல்ல. Yes, sir.
Now only
Nobody
I
will
reached
be
my
listening to training session like this. பாருங்க, நடந்துட்டே கேக்குறாங்க.
ஆமா, பாவம்.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Now only I reached my house and opened our gate.
Okay. And I will tell you where you should give the marks. Don't commit yourself unnecessarily putting a tick on the answer. On the
Okay.
answer, if you put it, you are at a very dangerous situation. So suppose the child has written some nonsense, you know pretty well that it is nonsense. Fine, that doesn't deserve mark at all. Put a tick somewhere here. Somewhere. Or random. Fine. And give say 1 mark or 2 marks that way. Very random. Similarly, don't underline. Fine. If the child is, you feel the child is making so many mistakes and just to make the child pass, you are doing it. Don't try to underline this area, I am not right, that area, I am not right. In that case, they will have a question that two extremes are there. Please remember, you don't simply put a tick and give 1 mark for a 3 mark question. The child will have a doubt, what mistake have I committed? Fine, just anyway the teacher has given a tick. That means I should be getting full marks. Why is it I'm given only 1 mark? Fine. So the child will go home and tell that ma'am has just randomly given mark. But you know pretty well which are the areas the child has made mistake. Okay. So please be patient enough especially when in my first year of service in DAV, I had 17 students in the class. So one of the principals told me, it is more like a personal coaching, Sri Priya. So you can have a lot of time and you can bring the best out of the students. That was these were the words of the principal. Believe me, that year class average in accountancy was 96% and business studies was 94%. Okay, so the certain words, you know, we should take it very, very sincerely. And we have, thank you, Samshed, we have we have the potential. We only need to put in little more efforts to bring the best of the students. Fine. So never ever commit yourself by underlining or simply putting a tick. Some people have the habit, very big tick. Okay, I'm giving some random mark. You give a full tick, ensure that you are able to make it clear that this is a mark the child deserves. And what I do is normally on the main answer booklet, I don't do anything. The sense like this type of papers, I mention what they are supposed to do. But in a 80-mark question, 80-mark paper, it is not possible to write against each and everything for the teachers. Sorry, for every student. And so that being the case, what I will do is say this is the answer paper, the last page where I'm going to give the marks. Fine, I enter the marks and then my observations. 1, 2, 3. This question number 2 should have been elaborate. Fine, highlight the key points. Never overwrite. Fine, don't give choice to the examiner. What happens is sometimes the children attempt both the options, making the examiner to decide which one you have to do. Please make it very clear to the students as per board instructions. As far as business studies is concerned, if a child has attempted both the options, the choice which has been attempted first will be evaluated. Whereas accountancy, if the child has attempted both the options, the one which deserves greater mark will be evaluated. See, between business studies and accountancy, there are variations. And the most common one is the one which is evaluated, which is attempted first should be evaluated. So that being the case, if it is wrong, ask them to score it with pencil. Please instruct them to score it only with pencil so that they can delete, they can maybe erase it and then give appropriate marks. Fine. And never, unless and until we are very thorough with the answer, let us not commit the answers on the paper. We will have the marking scheme. So if you are not very sure or you have not seen the marking scheme, without that you are evaluating, please don't commit yourself with that. Parents are very sensitive, and they will come back and say that with the book, my students will do that, they are capable. They will say, ma'am, this book, this page, it is there. So we cannot reduce marks at all, or even if you have reduced, then we may have to revert the mark, which becomes a very clumsy work, and the parents will definitely mistake us as to why so much of overwriting is being done. Fine. So these things we can avoid. And in the pre-board stage itself, let us make it clear to the students that this is how the board evaluation will take place. These are the value points which is required. And if possible, by and large, please share the marking scheme to the students, at least for the full portion examinations, so that they will first know what, so at their level, one filtering is done. Probably they will come back to us saying that, ma'am, as per marking scheme, this is the correct answer, ma'am, but you have given this way. Sometimes there were instances even in the board examination that the marking scheme was typed wrong. Later, after correcting 1 or 2 papers, we send a mail to the board saying that this answer is wrong. So the redrafted marking scheme will come, but the benefit will go to the students. First few days, for the correct answer, they were marked wrong, or for the wrong answer, they've been given correct. Both will be considered. We will not penalize, because as per the marking scheme, the wrong answer was there when I mentioned in the marking scheme. So therefore, nothing wrong in it. That way, at the board examination level, we do all these things. Fine. So don't penalize. Don't penalize the students for all these things. But at the school level, how much ever tight you can hold them, please do that. Make them write a lot. They need writing practice. That is a big thing. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. The first day itself, ma'am, I really happy, ma'am, because I made some mistake in my board, ma'am. The way approach you know, ma'am, really nice.
What
First,
she has,
you appreciate me it was so nice. You drawn line, everything you said that, ma'am. After that, இந்த இடத்துல nil போடணும் அப்படின்னு என்னோட மிஸ்டேக் ரெக்டிஃபை பண்ணும்போது
It is not a
வேற
mistake.
யாராவது
Actually,
இருந்தா
you have
என்ன
put
நீ
a dash.
பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க?
It is not a mistake.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what I'm trying to tell you. It is not a mistake. It is, you have put a dash, but in the board examination, not only board examination, even in school, okay, when the student writes a dash no, and you overlook that, when the paper is given to the student, the child may write the correct answer and come back and tell you, yeah, ma'am, I've written the answer, you have not given mark.
Yes, ma'am.
Instead, you train the student from the beginning, put write nil. So child is safe, you are also safe. That's
Yes,
all. So
ma'am.
putting a dash is not wrong. Able to
No,
understand.
ma'am. நீங்க அந்த விஷயம் எனக்கு புரிய வச்ச விஷயம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்துச்சு, மேம். இல்ல வேற யாராவது இருந்தா என்ன நீ இது கூட தெரியலையா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எடுத்த உடனே
Nobody will tell. When it is a first year of service, definitely nobody will tell.
நான் அதனாலே கொஞ்சம் ஆன்சர் பண்றதுக்குலாம் பயந்துட்டு இருந்தேன், மேம். பட் நீங்க சொன்னீங்க மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் மேக் யூ பெர்ஃபெக்ட் அப்படின்னு சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் எனக்குமே ஆன்சர் பண்றதுக்கு வந்துச்சு.
எனக்கெல்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த பிரின்சிபல்லாம் நான் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவேன்னா question QUE continuously எழுதுவேன். That ma'am only told me with capital letter you cannot have cursive writing. Simple ones 1992 that madam taught me. Till now that is registered. Fine. So question, for example, or write the answer. So you can't have a cursive writing along with the capital
No
letter.
capital letter.
Yes,
That way, kutti things da, but that makes a difference. Similarly, I had one mentor, Mr. Neelakantan, who was the subject expert for business studies at the all India level. So he only made me frame a question paper. That was his assignment to me. He was my mentor. He used to visit our school and he will tell me to set the question paper and send it to him. So, and after that, he will take a day's time and he will call me. Sri Priya, observation number 1, observation number 2. Seriously, in that, what is registered very beautifully in my mind is internal choice questions. Till now in BS, we have only internal choice. It's not an open-ended question. Okay, it is not like write any 3 out of 5 or anything. It is only internal choice. So he told me very clearly, internal choice should be from the same chapter or same unit. So for example, if you're setting a question from a partnership, you can have a choice between dissolution and death or dissolution and retirement or admission and retirement that way. You cannot have one question from partnership and one question from not-for-profit organization as a choice. So if you're setting a question from organizing, say for example, you have staffing, directing, controlling under one unit, organizing, planning, organizing in one unit. So you can go for a choice question between 2 topics of organizing or probably planning and organizing because they both come under the same unit, but we cannot jumble that way. Similarly, a child of average ability should be able to complete your paper in 2 hours and 40 minutes time. That should be the standard paper. Merely setting a long paper and making the students cry after coming out of the examination hall is not a standard paper. If 60% of the students are not able to complete your paper, that means it is a very lengthy paper. In a class of 40, if 10 people say that I haven't completed, fine, it needs introspection to know what is the percentage of marks up to which they have not completed. Fine. If the deviation is wide, it requires introspection. Fine. In a class of 40, suppose 30 are not able to complete, that means the paper is of too high a standard, not fit to be tested to that level. It is not. Now recent one Sahodaya paper I saw, most of the Sahodaya papers, this cluster papers, are set by the teachers handling that level in the local schools only. They are set to, the teachers think that I've been given the responsibility of setting a paper for a common forum where about 10-15 schools are going to take up. So let me set a very standard paper. What is the definition of standard? I'm so sorry, people are not able to define. Fine. 50% of the paper is unattemptable by a child of 17 and a half. So at the pre-board level, if such types of papers are set, children will only be demoralized. It is like for a 5-mark question, you have capital adjustment also. Fine. Pass journal entries, prepare capital account, prepare revaluation account, prepare balance sheet. For a 5-mark, the child will be spending much of the time only in that particular question and not able to complete the rest of the paper. So that is not needed. Similarly, my experience, personal experience, I'm sharing with all of you. I solve every paper by myself. My accountancy, most of the questions I create my own question and solve my own answer. And before the paper is released to the students, the marking scheme should be ready with us. Only then, if there is any typographical error or anything, when the child is asking for a doubt, we should be having the ready answer with us. That is possible only when we solve the paper. We cannot download some question paper and download some answer. So in future, even if my paper is shared to you, please go through the question paper and compare the marking scheme along with it. There may be mistakes in the marking scheme, or there may be mistakes in the question paper. So please try to read the paper thoroughly and check the marking scheme also. Or try to jot down points so that you can compare the points with the marking scheme that you will be given by your school little later. Maybe some of the schools, they will share only the question paper and they may not share the marking scheme immediately. You can develop your own points to discuss with the answer with the students, so that the students will have, you will have a hold on your students only when you have all these things with you. And all your efforts will be definitely rewarded. Definitely rewarded. Children will fall to us. That's all. They will be with us only. Any time that you tell, all our, whenever we are angry, we tell something and other things, all these things will take a back seat. If we are subject-wise strong and if we are able to deliver the subject appropriately, they will not bother about our flip side at all. This ma'am is very angry or anything. They will not bother. They will tell, ultimately, we are benefited by the teacher's subject depth. That is needed. And give a complete reading any day, even today. Any day is a new day for me. Every batch is a new batch for me. I don't think that, oh, this is my 26th batch, I'm going to do, what is this parrot like, I'm going to talk the same thing. Definitely not. To me, every batch is a new batch. We go with that mindset, we will put our heart and soul into that and we will do it. Definitely. And we need to plan our activities very thoroughly. This many hours, we will take this much time. And one more thing, in a 40 minutes period, first 5 minutes, first 2 minutes, we go, we say the prayer and other things, and we go for recapitalization, etc. And there remain another 20-25 minutes content delivery. Then once the content delivery is over, last 10 minutes or 5 minutes, let us have some time to again revise the whole thing. But 40 minutes means full 40 minutes, let us make the best use of it. That's all. Let us not take even 1 minute more. And let us not leave them free also 1 minute. That way. So if we do that, definitely we will be able to complete the portions promptly. Maybe 1 or 2 classes. In accountancy, we may require additional classes, but I don't think we need any extra class for business studies.